Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alya KAMILA, NIM 6420758 from class Management 1B, and today I'm going to present my English project about the question word. This topic is very important because question word help us ask for information and make conversation clear in English. See. What are question word? Question word, or what we later call WH question, are interrogative words used to form question in English. WH question are commonly called 5W1H in Indonesian. They help us obtain the information we need in conversation or writing. For example, when we ask what is your favorite color, we use what because we are asking about a thing, the color. The basic grammar structure for most WH question is question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. For example, what do you eat? What is question word? Do is auxiliary, you is subject, and it is main verb. The first word is in question word is who. Who is an English question word used to ask about the identity or a person or group of people involved in a particular event, activity, or context. Who help us identify the relevant person or subject in a context. If who is the subject, the structure is who plus verb plus object. Example, who teaches your English? Here, who is the subject, the person doing the teaching. If who is the object, we add auxiliary who plus do, does, did plus subject plus verb. Example, who do you teach? In this case, you is the subject and who is the person achieving the action. Next is what. What is English question word used to ask about object, activity, or concept that occur or are involved in a particular event, activity, or context. Its function is to obtain information about a particular object, activity, or concept in a conversation or situation. The formula is what plus do, does, did plus subject plus verb. Example, what do you eat or what does she eat? The auxiliary verb do, does, did depends on the subject and tense. Does for he, she, it, do for I, you, we, they, and did for past tense. Next, when. When used to ask about the time or period in which an event occurred. Its function is to obtain information about a specific time or period in a conversation or situation, and to help us understand the sequence or schedule of event. Like the formula is when plus do, does, did plus subject plus verb. Example, when do you go to school? It means at what time do you go to school? Next, where. Where used to ask about the location or place where an event occurred in a conversation or situation. The formula is where plus do, does, did plus subject plus verb. Example, where do they live or where does she live? Why? Used to ask about the reason behind an event, action, occurrence, or situation. So, when we want to know why something happened or why someone did something, we can ask why. The formula is why plus do, does, did plus subject plus verb. Example, why are you sad? We use why when we want to know the reason behind something. The answer usually begins with because. For example, because I failed the exam. Which in English question word that help us choose between several options. Its function is to request information about a particular choice from a number of available options to assist us in decision making or to identify a specific object or person in a particular situation or context. The formula is which plus noun plus do, does plus subject plus verb. Example, which color do you like? Here, which is used because the question is limited to current choice, for example, red or blue. Who used to ask about the person who is the object in a sentence. Who help us determine the relationship between the subject and object in sentence. The formula is whom plus did plus subject plus verb. Example, who did she invite to the party? She is the subject and whom is the object, the person being invited. In informal English, people often say, who did she invite? But whom did she invite is grammatically more correct and formal. Whose is used to ask about ownership or who a particular object or thing belongs to. The formula is whose plus noun plus is, are plus this, that. Example, whose bag is this? It means who owns this bag. We use is for singular object and are for plural object. And next, how used to ask about the manner or process of how an event or action is carried out. Its function is to obtain information about the methods or procedure involved in a situation or activity. The formula is how plus do, does, did plus subject plus verb. Example, how do you go to school? It means by where, but what, why, or method you go, like that. And types of how to use. How old? We use how old to ask about X. Example, how old are they? 24. How much or money? We use how much or money when we want to ask about number, quantity, or price. Example is, how much milk do you drink? I drink only 1 glass. How often? We use how often when we want to ask about frequency. Like, how often does she study? She study every day. How far? We use how far when we want to ask about distance. Example, how far is it to Bandung? It's 153 kilometers to Bandung. How long? We use how long when we want to ask a duration or length. Example, how long is the movie? The movie is 90 minutes long. All of these use the same concept, how plus adjective adverb plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb, but they change meaning depending on what information you want. And this is a practice question and explanation. The question number 1 is blank is your name. The answer is what? The question asks for a piece of information, a person name, not the person themselves. That's why we use what, no who. Number 2, is the nearest library located? The answer is where, because the question is about place, the location of the nearest library. And number 3, to blank did you lend your umbrella? The answer is whom. We use whom because it refers to the object, the person who retrieved the umbrella. The sentence starts with the preposition to, so grammatically it's formal to use whom. Grammar structure, preposition plus whom plus did plus subject plus verb. To whom did you lend your umbrella? In everyday English, people may also say, who did you lend your umbrella to? Which is more natural but less formal. So, in conclusion, question words are very important in English because they help us ask and understand information clearly. The main formula to remember is question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. By mastering question word, we can communicate better in daily life, but in speaking and writing. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.